All right, and we are live here tonight on the American Sim Network for the Sim500 Coastal Safety Auditors Cup Series. This is a preseason event. This is the Clash at Daytona. I'm Matt Egan, joined by none other than Jacob Young. How you doing tonight, Jacob?
Doing well. Looking forward to watching some racing. I've waited for this all off season, and now it's finally arrived. I cannot wait for this race and to see what the group of guys have in store for us tonight.
Yeah, some of the biggest names in iRacing race in this league here tonight. And this is really just the prelude. We only have 23 drivers here. They are all, well, it's just an exhibition race. They had 2 heats, 60 drivers tried to make this race here tonight. 23 of them got into the show. So, I tell you what, this should be an exciting night. We'll be with you all season here on the American Sim Network. But we're going to kick things off right with some little preseason fun at Daytona Superspeedway. Right now, Jason Barham, the fastest on the speedway in warm-up. That number 83 machine, beautiful looking Chevy Camaro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's looking good. He looked good throughout the warm-ups, or the heats to be exact, too. And just, of course, the key thing is not only once you have pace, it's great, but you have to stay calm and make sure that you can make your moves at the right times and also stay out of trouble. Keep that car lightly damaged, and you should be fine to finish the race and maybe finish it with a little bit of a preseason win.
Yeah, and it's great momentum to get the win here tonight. It'll be a good thing going into the main race in 2 weeks' time. It'll be good going into the duels next weekend just to be able to win here tonight and just say, hey, I got that first win to start the season. Again, even though it's a non-points paying race, still good to get the win, still good just to say, look how I'm starting my season off. Randy?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, well, hey, it's just, I cannot wait for this. And once the season really kicks off, it's going to be even better to see how these drivers, a full field of drivers to be exact, will pan out. And of course in the clashes as well, that'll be a real deal to see if these drivers, or where these drivers will line up, because field position will be key at the start of a race.
Yeah, and only 25 laps here tonight, so it's a good testing tune night for these drivers to figure out how this Cup car likes to handle the high banks of Daytona for the big event in, again, 2 weeks' time. So this is a really good testing tune night. Randy Yoakum, driver of the number 8 car on that outside lane. Loving that paint scheme, by the way, out there. Oh, there's a crash. The 14's in it. Looks like the 44, Glenn Campbell, he'll be involved in that 14 machine. Joey Gattina. Hard into the inside wall.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at that replay real quick, it's just, well, they were all in a draft, and of course a couple of drivers decided to check up and also side grab. They were just low, and I think just came up thinking that he was more clear than he was, and then, yeah, came up the racetrack, and that's what caused that right there. So
Yeah,
that's something that of course it's warm-up, so that's something that these drivers will have to watch out for, just to make sure to be calm. Even though, yes, it is a 25-lap shootout, but in the early going, it's still, 25 laps around here is still a long time.
Yeah, 25 laps takes a while, especially a big track like this. Well, while we're still in warm-ups, let's get a quick interview in with the driver of that number 14 car, Mr. Gattina there, and we'll pull him up and get a quick word in and see what he thinks for tonight and what he expects to see. Joey, have you got a copy on us?
Hey guys, how are you?
We're doing great, man. How are you? You excited for this season?
I am. I'm more excited that we made the race tonight. It was kind of eventful. We're riding 7th and got hit and was able to recover. Did the Days of Thunder spin, and I don't know. We made it.
Now, what are you looking for in the Clash here? And are you kind of using it as a testing tune for the big event in 2 weeks and just kind of figuring out what this car likes, what it doesn't like, and who you want to work with?
Yeah, first off, we got to thank Coastal Safety Auditors for the series. DJ Beverly's put together something cool over here. We're excited, especially to have you guys on board. It's the first time for us to work with you guys, but yeah, I mean, just getting extra laps here at Daytona is not a bad thing. We run the Trans Service Cup Series on Monday nights, and that's the big series for us over here at Sim500. So that's what I'm really looking for, just kind of getting comfortable in the draft and just getting back after it here for 2020.
Yeah, well, what do you expect out of this season as, as a league admin and stuff? You expect it to be a big series? I mean, obviously with the amount of drivers we had here in the heat races, but, what do you expect for that angle of it?
Yeah, for the season here, I expect the Saturday Night Cup Series here again, the Coastal Safety Auditors Cup Series to be extremely successful. Jody Green and Tommy Ryan will be the lead admins over here. They both were sidetracked, so unfortunately everybody had me tonight. So, but yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great series. Again, we can't do it without the sponsors. And then, of course, you guys on Sunday nights are going to be covering the FEG, the Ford Entertainment I always want to call it graphics, but the Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series. So both are free series. They're open to just about anybody that wants to come over to Sim500 and give it a try. And again, it's all thanks to our great sponsors to make this happen.
Yeah, and of course, us at ASM, we want to give a big thank you to you for having us come on board, cover this series for you. I mean, we're excited for this opportunity to work for you and hope this continues on, and let's make it a great season.
Guys, we're excited. First time this year, 2020, Sim500 has we race 7 nights a week with 8 active series. We have 4 broadcasted events during the week. So I don't know that you can get any bigger. I'm just very blessed. Our admin staff and everybody here, we've done a great job over the years putting the league where it needs to be. So we're excited, ready to go racing. Thanks, guys.
All right, well, best of luck to you in the race here.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll bring him back down with his team. And once again, that's Joey Gattina, league owner over here at Sim500, looking for a good run and a good season in 2019. Well, 16 drivers took laps in warm-up. Jacob, what do you expect to see? You expect to see chaos unfold, or you expect to see them to be calm, cool, and collected? I think it could go one of many ways.
Well, you're correct on that. It can go one of many ways for sure. I expect to see it pretty calm at the start. Maybe a couple of drivers just seeing how each other will react in the draft. We might see one lane split out for a while, a bit of a small second lane on top, and then, of course, going basically single file. But once it starts to get closer and closer to the end, I think chaos can unfold and probably will.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, the warm-up is over, and I tell you what, the drivers are probably very excited here tonight. 23 of them, or 28 of them, actually. I underestimated the amount of drivers that were in. I heard 23 earlier, and then I guess they bumped the number up, and why not let more in? That always good. So we'll roll you through your starting lineup. It'll be Steve Ritter starting on pole. To his outside, that being, of course, driver's right, Randy Yoakum, the number 8 car, and man, no surprise seeing an 8 car up front at Daytona. I mean, real NASCAR, that goes back pretty much to the early 2000s. You always see that 8 car up front. Josh Parker and Chad Coleman make up row number 2. Chad Coleman's number 20 machine, beautiful looking car. Dwight Beverly and Justin Fuller make up row number 3. Row number 4, you'll be looking for Tyler Gary and Dwayne Vincent. Row number 5, Josh Bonwell and David Comstock. Row 6, Kevin Brown, Robert Dudley. Row 7, Jeff Ryan, Patrick Colby. Row 8, Stephen Burnett and Joey Gattina. Row 9, Jim Ott and Glenn Campbell. Row 10, Jose Gonzalez, Travis Brown. Now, Gonzalez was towards the top of the speed charts in warm-up, so look to see him towards the front of the field as this race wears on. John Henderson, David Acacia, right there in row 11. Row 12, Jason Barham and Dwayne Sponseller. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that'll be row 12. Thomas Cristiano, and Steve Herring rounding out row 13. Row 14, Ron Hollyfield and Jason Erison. And that'll round out your field here tonight. I tell you what, man, what a field. 28 drivers deep. Looks like only 2 drivers, Ryan and Cristiano, do not take the grid. So that'll be 26 cars on track for this Clash event.
Yeah, 26 cars on track. I mean, that's a great amount of drivers, especially in this clash. So we kind of get a feeling of how these drivers will react against each other for, well, the next couple of weeks, especially for the Daytona 500, or of course, that's what we want to call it, though, Daytona 100 laps to be exact, is what they'll be doing. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting as we are moments away from green. Cannot wait. So excited.
Yeah, called the Daytona 250, if you will. And here we go, folks. Pace car is down. There he goes. He'll drop right off. And the field is green. We're racing. 30 laps of action underway at the Clash.
Great start from both lanes. They were able to get going, but the bottom lane seems like it just had a little extra boost at the start, as already we see two cars at 16 and 23, I believe, just Steve Ritter and Josh Parker kind of just going out in front of the field so far, especially that bottom lane working early to wonders.
Yeah, Josh Parker down on the bottom giving a big push to Steve Ritter. Randy Yoakum controlling the high line. He'll have Chad Coleman in tow, and I gotta say, that outside line, it might not be a bad line to be in. I'm just watching the way they're running right now.
Yeah, that outside line for sure, just like you said, it is not a bad line so far. That outside line, especially at Daytona, even early, you think it wouldn't really work that well, but especially with this package that iRacing still has with the 2019 cars, that outside line can work wonders, because basically both these cars are stalling out at the same exact time, and you can side draft really well and really stay up there on the high line and maybe even stay out of damage. It is a fun line to run up there.
Well, you hit the nail on the head perfectly. I tell you what, Jacob, side drafting is key. You can't make any forward momentum for the most part just going 1-2. You gotta get air off the side of the guy next to you. That makes for extremely close and extremely dangerous racing here at these super speedways. You can see Yoakum in that 8 line, that high line rather, the entire high line, just falling back right now because they don't have a side draft. They don't really have anything to work with. And Josh Parker jumps up top. He'll lead his first lap of the evening. But that outside line, unless they start side drafting, they're really not going to have much to work with. And Randy Yoakum's going to go around. Oh, oh, man, oh, man. Holy wow.
They're still wrecking.
I mean, that's... Jacob, I tell you, that's half the field.
That is half the field, and it's just being a little aggressive too early, in my opinion. I think what really happened there, and to start things off, was the 8 of Randy Yoakum was kind of in a bad spot, kind of pushed himself in the middle and thought he was clear on the bottom, and I believe that's what turned him into traffic. I
think we got to ride on board with that 10 car, because I think he's one of the few drivers that got through that. I don't know how. No, he got in it. Never mind. I thought he might have got through that, but yeah, I don't think anyone got through that. Let's ride on board with the Blue Deuce. Miller Light Machine. That being Kevin Brown. So we're on board with Kevin Brown going into turn 1. You gonna see Yoakum spin, and he's stuck on the high line, just nowhere for Kevin Brown to go. He got tagged in. I think out of all the drivers involved, I think Kevin Brown probably got the least damage of them. You see Gattina's car. We talked to him a little bit earlier. Down on the apron, 22 facing, wrong way down a one-way street. And we're going to take one more onboard look, and we're going to ride on board with Randy Yoakum and see his perspective on it. It looks like he just kind of got turned around, and like you said, it's an exhibition race. These guys racing for fun, and, just that's the result of hard racing.
Yeah, exactly. Very hard racing. He was just going low, kind of checking up, checking down the field, if you want to say, and thought he was clear, and that just caused the chain reaction. But yeah, just like you said, half the field, of course,
at least half.
25 lap race. Of course, sometimes you want to go for broke, or 30 lap races you want to go for broke.
Yeah, we'll get one more look at it from the chopper cam, and you folks out there, I mean, find someone that got through it. I don't think you can. Yeah, maybe the 25 car. But pretty much if you were unlucky enough to be caught in the middle there, you got caught up in that crash. So, an unfortunate chain of events leads to the first caution of the night. Chad Coleman second, and you can see one of the few cars now without damage on the speedway. Now, that being said, damage in these cars with this 2019 package, don't get me wrong, it matters a lot, but it's not the killer that it was in 2018. You can manage it, and it looks like everyone here luckily has a fast fix. Thank God for that. That would be, man, that would feel so bad for them if they all were just out 3 laps in.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a terrible thing to happen for tonight, especially. But a fast fix is always great to have, especially in these fun races. And I mean, it will. Now, of course, drivers will be fighting even more because there will be less and less laps. Yes, we're only 5 laps into it, but yes, that's 25 laps just like that into this, or left in this race to be exact. And so, well, I think we'll see more and more aggression for sure throughout the night, but I think these drivers also will learn, especially up front, well, they'll try to calm it down and make sure that they're in the same lane. Yes, it is frustrating sometimes to be on that high line and watch that low line just blow by you, but at that same time, it will give you space to just cut inside into that inside line and just follow it from the back because, well, at sometimes it's better to ride the back of the pack than to ride the front of the pack.
Yeah, well, they'll go lights out on the pace car. There'll be 8 laps into this race. Well, actually 7 laps into this race when we go green. My bad there. Well, what do you think? You think these guys are going to take her a little bit easier now?
I think so. I think they'll go a little easier for sure. But at the same time, just like I said, these drivers, well, they want to win this clash. It might not mean too much, but also it's a test to see how much you're going to race, especially just like we talked about so much already, 2 weeks from now. You want to see how much you can push the car, push the other drivers around you, and if you can maybe make headway for, well, the Daytona 250.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out, as they say. Daytona 250, of course, going to be a big one. So, the pace car, I'll let you get the green here when we come around now, Jacob. It'll be Josh Parker, Chad Coleman, Tyler Gary, Justin Fuller, and Josh Bonwell. He'll round out your top 5 here tonight.
Sounds great. Pace car moments away from coming into pit lane, as already drivers right behind each other. Pace car pulls into pit lane now, and we're back racing here at Daytona Motor Speedway.
Looks like that outside line did not get the best restart there.
No, they did not. That low line really able to take off, especially with Josh Parker. Josh Parker got a great push from Tyler Gary, and that has been that key. But now I'm watching that outside line, and they've started to pick up speed as well. So that's also going to be a good thing because, well, the 25 car of Dave Acacia is also starting to come up behind them and help out that outside line. Now that inside line just got an extra driver as well, so that will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tyler Gary, he got a phenomenal start there with that push on Josh Parker. And I think that was all by plan because now Gary can work that outside line if he so chooses. And with coming in on 20 laps to go, they're 3 wide for the lead. Man, they just had a big wreck. I mean, I hope they don't have another, but they're racing like they might. I mean, 3 wide for the lead like that, that's never, I mean, that's risky right there, but luckily they made it work.
That was risky, but the interesting thing, of course, always is going to be, yes, you can go 3 wide, but at that same time, that third car in the middle, or that second car to be exact, in the middle, did not have a drafting partner, so everyone around him had a drafting partner, so that's why they were able to make that work. It was just in the middle, hung out to dry for the time being, and luckily, of course, just like you said, they were able to make it work.
Yeah, no one really wanted to make the third lane there, and I mean, I don't blame him. A little too early for that. By the way, I want to say I love Fuller's paint scheme, that Nemesis Lab machine, throwback to Neil Bonnett's Country Time Lemonade car, even the same number. Absolutely brilliant car on that outside lane. We have a lot of good-looking cars, I gotta say. Kyle Larson's Clover car, the old Blue Deuce car there, a little bit further back. Oh, big wiggle out of Coleman there. Or not Coleman, I'm sorry, out of Parker. I don't know if you saw that. I guess maybe the 87 Bondwell pushing him, gave him a little bit of a push in the bad off the quarter panel. And they're 3 wide again, the 25 car. Acacia stuck in the middle, and looks like the 5 of Burnett is going to actually try and make that third line happen for a moment. Now it will be the 51 of Fuller in the middle. They will have enough cars to make a little bit of a third lane, and they're gonna try to do it.
Able to make it work.
And the 25 backed out of it. He backed out of it real fast.
Yeah, it was a smart idea there, but it was a bit of a scary back out for 25. Now moving back, Dave Acacia. Acacia was on that outside or on that inside and decided to move back up, and he'll move to the back of that pack. And it's probably a smart idea for the time being, because these drivers, as we've already seen, they can run it really well in green flag conditions. But of course, like I said, at least, I do expect for us to see maybe one more caution later on in this race.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The way they're running, there's going to be one more wreck. That's not to say they're running bad, just they're running aggressive. And why wouldn't you? It's a non-points paying race. It's just a fun race. No reason not to. But I do agree with you. I think we might have one more, and I agree with Acacia there, it being a good, smart move to maybe lay back and hopefully not get caught up in whatever transpires.
100% agree on that. Well, that third line, or at least we have one driver.
That's a 93.
Exactly.
Kevin Brown. He thought about making a third lane for a moment. He thought about it, and he's going to fall back.
Exactly, had to fall back there. It was a very scary move. I think 5 of Steven Burnett was kind of coming out there as 23 gets knocked down, and he's going to fall back.
I saw tire smoke off someone's car. Was that a blown motor?
Yes, it is. There's smoke pouring out of the back of his car.
Oh, man.
Josh Parker.
Yep, he's down on the apron. You hate to see that. We'll get an instant replay of the moment that happened. And, yeah, you can see he drops right down. I bet you he was overheating. I bet you he overheated. And, yeah, you see smoke just billowing out of the back end of that Clover car. I mean, he'll get his fast repair, so he'll be back in it, but this is happening under green flag. No caution. He's going to go at least a lap down, losing the draft and having to pit, you know?
Exactly.
So that he's going to have that happen to him, and, you know, that's the unfortunate thing. He's going to lose a lot of... I mean, he was in contention to win this race.
He was in contention for sure. He was up there, up in front, just really driving a smooth race, and then all of a sudden, of course, like we said, he just got heated up and had to fall back to the blown motor.
I mean, good on him, though, to know that his motor was likely about to go out and just pull off and not have it blow up in traffic. Because exactly. I've had that happen to me once, where I was on the outside line here at Daytona, and I didn't realize it because I couldn't see my engine temperature. But the motor just let go on me, and it didn't even smoke. It just went blip, blip. And just that moment where I was like, oh boy, about the scariest moment, because you think you're going to wreck the entire field. I was luckily able to get out of the way, but that was not a fun experience.
Never is a fun experience, but, I mean, like we said, these are one of the best drivers on iRacing, of course, I believe.
Oh, right, we got a wreck. Oh, man. Oh, she might be another big one, too. Oh, it is another big one. The 16's in it. Randy's in it again. Was that Randy Yoakum?
Bonsler as well.
Yep. 16, Steven Ritter. That started with the 44 car. He got turned into the outside wall. Randy Yoka became collateral there. I think the 111 got through that, and yeah, he got a little bit of nose damage, but he'll be all right. But
Exactly, a little bit of nose damage is almost will always happen here at Daytona. So,
man, what a crash! Look at the 44 goes up and over on top of the 59. The 59, of course, piloted by Jim Ott. But Glenn Campbell there, he's not had good luck in that 44 car. He's involved in that first wreck. That second one he's in. Well, not that matter. The 93 hasn't had great luck either, because that's the second wreck he's been in. So that'll be that with 16 laps to go. The only one that's really going to benefit from this will be the 23 of Josh Parker. I think he's going to be the lucky dog. Or no, Comstock actually. Never mind. Comstock got past him, so Comstock will be the lucky dog. 16 laps to go. Tyler Gary's your race leader. We'll take you to a quick caution break, and we'll be right back. Call it 1 lap to go here at Daytona Super Speedway. It is Tyler Gary, Chad Coleman, Travis Brown, Justin Fuller, and Steve Burnett, your top 5. That top 5's been pretty similar all night. Chad Coleman's had a great run, as has Fuller. But who do you think we see win tonight?
Well, I want to say we'll see Fuller win, but at the same time, I'm more of an underdog guy myself, and so I think someone outside the top 5 will most likely end up winning this race.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Justin Fuller win just because of that paint scheme alone. I love that old country time car, Nemesis Lab car. It's a beautiful throwback, so I'd love to see that thing get to victory lane.
I wouldn't agree more for sure, but just like I said, someone outside the top 5 as well is also pretty likely to win this one, because I think, especially getting closer and closer to the end of this race, these drivers, especially up front, will race more and more aggressive, especially on that top line, trying to make something happen. And as we have seen before, just one driver going up to kind of cool down his engine or something like that, one driver coming down causes a wreck, so we might see that even up front.
Yeah, I mean, hey, anything can happen here. Pace car down. We'll have 12, count them, 12 laps to go, and that inside line did not go at all.
They did not go. It was a shocking start from the outside line, a great start from the outside line to be exact, as Tyler Gray and Travis Brown are right behind each other. Yeah, Tyler Gray at least able to go to the inside line and keep that line going.
Tyler Gary there, I mean, what a start. I don't know what happened to Chad Coleman there. He just didn't realize it or what, but I mean, they didn't go at all in that bottom line. I don't know. I mean, that might have been by choice too. I don't know for certain.
Yeah,
but there might have been an element of strategy to that.
There might have been for sure, but of course that outside line slowly but surely shrunk down to at least 2 cars, now 4 cars actually. So now that top line will try and get back to the lead once again, but that low line starting to gain that traction. They were slow at the start, but just like this package has been, especially from that 2019 season, why I love it so much is because the restrictor plate racing has never been better. Even on that bottom line, you can really gain that slip, you can really gain that draft and catch up to the field very quickly.
Yeah, that is for sure. And right now, 10 laps to go at the stripe. They are doubled up side by side. And look at the 42. Look at Dave Comstock with Josh Parker. Parker's a lap down, but Comstock isn't. And here he comes. He's to the outside of Gatina. 10 laps to go. They're trying to make a move to the front.
Trying to make a move to the front indeed. It's going to be exciting. Though, bit of pushing on that outside was a bit scary there, as the 14 was just a tad bit lower than that 42, and well, they could have spun each other out at that time.
Hey, anything can happen. Right now, 9 at the stripe, and it looks like Katina's going to go with them to the outside. They're trying to form a third lane up there, and you know what? I think they got enough cars right now to do it, and it looks like Comstock might think different. Comstock says, no, thank you. I'm going to go to the bottom.
There we go. 3
9
lanes.
to go. I mean, they're 3 wide all the way through the field right now.
Exactly. The only scary part right now would be, I believe, Fuller in the 51 car. Exactly. Fuller, he has some space on the low line.
Not
but
no
at
more.
that same time, that is being closed up tremendously. And so now he's stuck in the middle, 3 wide here.
I mean, they're 3 wide pretty much the whole way through. 8 laps to go. I mean, someone so much as sneezes and that entire field's going to wreck.
Exactly. Couldn't be any scarier right now for the drivers as well. But, of course, we love this. And
look at that 5 car right there.
Exciting racing.
5 cars, Stephen Burnett. And, I mean, look at him. He's caught right in the middle. Talk about a rock in a hard place. He's going to wiggle himself around, try and find his place. But, I mean, he twitches wrong, and that'll be the end. I think the only driver that's safe right now might be the 01 car. He's leading the show.
Yeah,
I don't think they can do 8 more laps of this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about 8 more laps of this as well. But yeah, Burnett, I think will find
Oh, they're
that
getting
the
all
middle line
wiggly
will
down
be
the
perfect
backstretch.
as they are able to speed through.
They're going wiggly down the backstretch, all trying to breathe their cars. I tell you, they're great drivers, but yeah, you can see that outside line dissolve in the third lane. And like I say, I don't think they could have gone for a solid 8 laps just because something would have had to give. I mean, they don't even do that in real NASCAR, you know? Not anymore.
Exactly, but I can tell you one series that does that, though, in NASCAR, and that's the ARCA series. I think ARCA Menard series is perfect just like this, is in they are as aggressive as these drivers, in my opinion, and they'll want a win at any cost.
Yeah, looks like the 87 car there. Oh, big wiggle. What a save. Oh, no.
Fuller's gone.
Oh, man, no yellow. That 90's got to be careful rejoining Fuller, and yeah, he's gone. He's out of it. Luckily, he saves it, though. Didn't hit the inside wall. Get a quick replay of that, and you can see great save by that 5 car. Fuller went down just a little bit too much on the 90 trying to save his car, and unfortunately, he got the short end of that stick. But, I mean, man, that could have been the entire field. And I just saw Comstock and the 5 of Burnett just tag the outside wall there through 1 and 2, going into 1 and 2, and they're not giving an inch anymore.
No,
they got
not.
5 laps to go at the stripe.
Low line, though, the low line has the advantage, though, with the 3-car draft. As well, now it's going back to 2 lanes.
I tell you what, Comstock's got a good chance of this thing if he can make something happen in that 42, but I mean, the way they're racing, I don't know. You think something's going to give before we get to the white flag?
Yeah, exactly. Something will have to give, and something I think will give, to be exact.
Oh, look at the 20 there. He got well under the apron, brings it back up. What a job.
Brown led that lap, but I don't think
barely
he'll be leading for much longer. That high line, or that second line to be exact.
That 87's all over the place. I don't know if he's trying to breathe the car or what, but he's not able to keep her in line great, and that's going to be a problem for him. But it looks like he might get to the lead. Outside line working.
He was about to get to the lead, but
the
what
5
happened, there was a 5 hit the wall. 5 of Burnett hit the wall, and so he had to slow it down.
Oh, look at the 87.
He's got a partner once again.
I think something's wrong with the 87 car. Look at the wig. Did you see how much he wiggled coming off the corner of the 87 car, Josh Bonwell?
Yeah, I think it might be.
I think he's having a tire. I mean, he might be having a tire go flat. Remember, iRacing simulates that now. They are on these new cars are on Tire Model version 7. The Cup car's got the new tire, so I mean, he might be having a tire go flat. What do you think?
That is a possibility. These tires, especially here at this racetrack, even before this new tire model was on the race cars. I remember running the Daytona 500 last year, and around about a 25 to 30 lap green flag run that we had, or about this long of a green flag run that we had, and the tires even coming out of pit lane just to get a splash of fuel was very difficult on these tires. So just in this hot sun, everything with the Florida weather that iRacing can simulate, it really brings a tougher portion to this race, and for these drivers to make sure that maybe we can manage their tires and just go through it and make sure that we'll be okay at the end with, of course, tire work.
2 to go at the stripe. Comstock all by his lonesome, and they'll get a little bit of shade. This track might stay in the shade for the final 2 laps. These drivers would love that. It'll cool down just a touch. Drivers would love it if it stayed shaded, but here comes the sun again. 2 laps to go. Tyler Gary's leading. I got a theory that lead's going to change quite a few more times before we get to that checker.
Yeah, we'll see if that low line has anything for them, or even, of course, Tyler Gary decides to maybe send one down to the bottom as they're still side by side. And once again, Travis Brown will take that lead for the time being.
White flag this time by. They got to get to the white, and then they won't be able to get a green-white checker because, you know, white flag, no caution. No. And we're going to go green-white checkers here at Daytona. It's a big one. I spoke way too soon. Tyler Gary
I mean, we
has
were in
gone
the back.
around.
We were in the back stretch. I thought everything was going to be fine, but I think a bump draft gone wrong was the problem there.
Well, you're racing for the win. Do they have green-white checkers on? I see final lap. They might not have green-white checkers. I'm hoping they do. I mean, I'd love to see him go GWC here. What even happened? I think you're right. I think Tyler Garrett, yeah, he got a bump draft from the 26, and it, unfortunately went wrong. You know what? I want to say hats off to David Comstock, the 42. You know, he came from a lap down to be in about third place with about a lap and a half to go. Had this caution not happened, he had a good chance to win this race. So I want to give a shout out to you, David, if you're watching this. Good run there, and we hope to see you do good in the duels next week.
Exactly.
I'm hoping they get a green-white checker. I hope this isn't the final lap of the race. It might be, though.
Same here, but also talking about next week, you bring up a good point with the duels. Yes, this race is always a great way to start off speed weeks, but at that same time, well, the duels matter more because that's where you're going to start, and that's where you might.
I think this was the final lap.
Might even miss the chase or miss the Daytona 500 because or Daytona 250 because 60 drivers trying to get a spot in the duel. So that's going to be a fun get a spot here in the Clash, excuse me, but that's going to be a fun duel.
And that was the final lap. No green-white checker. It'll be Travis Brown to go to victory lane here in an exciting finish. Chad Coleman second. Joey Gattina, Steve Burnett, Steve Herring, Ayrton, Gary, Comstock, Barham, Gonzalez, Bonwell, Henderson, Beverly, Ryan, Fuller, Parker, Sponsella, Vincent, Dudley, Brown, Yoakum, Ott, Ritter, Hollyfield, Campbell, Ryan, and Cristiano rounds out your field. And let's get one more look at the incident that ended the race here tonight. And you can see Travis Brown was in the lead coming down the backstretch, and watch for the bump. There's the bump by the 26, and unfortunately that did it in. And here's the thing though, had the caution came out a few seconds later, we would have been talking to the 20 car winning the race, because just after the caution came out, the 20 car got in the lead. You want to talk about probably a bittersweet, well, not bittersweet, but a hard moment, I should say, for the driver of that 20, because the caution comes out right after he got in front of Travis Brown.
Yeah, exactly. And just watching the replay, once again, yeah, bump draft gone wrong, especially a bump draft into the corners. That's not necessarily a thing that you want to see. And that's a thing that also, I believe, in the ARCA Menard series as well, which is a series that I've just enjoyed to watch a lot, they, I believe, don't allow the racers to bump draft or lock bumpers into the corner. So something that we don't necessarily see a lot, but of course, yes, very bittersweet. And, well, just can't wait for next week as well.
Yeah, I'm looking here in TeamSpeak. Do you see Travis Brown? I'm going to go with no, I don't actually see him. I want to make sure I'm not missing him, though.
Okay, so let's see.
He just connected. He just connected.
Oh, okay.
All right, Travis Brown, if you got a copy on me, my man.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, victory lane here at Daytona. I'm sure you probably want to win it under green, but how's it feel?
It feels great, man. I just signed up for the league like 10 minutes before practice. Tyler Gary told me to sign up, so shout out to him. He worked with me all night. Somewhat made it through that first wreck. I didn't really make it through, but I kept it pointed straight and made up a bunch of spots, and that helped me. When I came back out, I took my quick repair, and then I came out, and I don't even know what happened. Just a lot of hard racing, beating and banging. It's a lot of fun.
Well, to be able to win it here going into, well, the speed weeks for this league, how does that feel? You know, does that give you a lot of momentum going into the next few races?
I mean, I don't know. Hearing Jeff Fuller cry like a bitch after the race made me feel good, so that was cool. But just got to thank Gary for helping me out, and Sim500, Coastal Safety Auditors Cup Series. Who else? Just everybody for watching, you guys for broadcasting. It was a good one.
All right. Well, anyone you want to thank, sponsors, that kind of thing?
Like I said, Coastal Safety Auditors. I know they put on the season, so thanks to them. Um, Everybody watching.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Great job on the win.
Thank you.
All right. Jacob Young will get the interview with Chad Coleman, second place finisher here tonight at Daytona.
Chad Coleman, how you doing?
We're good.
All right, well, second place in the opening race, of course, the clash here at Daytona. How does that feel?
It's pretty good. I mean, the two guys in front got to where they was trying to control the lanes a little bit, and the pushing was getting harder. Then, right there, last lap of the race, that was probably that wreck was 50% on me, probably hell, maybe more, maybe 75%. But I was pushing the 01 or 32 or whatever number of car it actually was, pushing him into the corner, and I guess I got bumper hooked on his rear end because when I tried to turn my car, it just kind of bounced off his bumper and went a little right, and I couldn't get all the way to the yellow line, and the top come and pitched down, and then we crashed. But other than that, it was a fun race. Trying to learn a little bit for some other stuff.
All right, so what were you able to learn for, of course, next week going into, well, now the duels to qualify for the Daytona 250?
Just that this thing gets fairly hot, and pretty hot pretty quick actually, and the lanes seem to be pretty even, and it you can cool it down pretty quick if you need to, and the deal with trying to getting bumper hooked and getting stuck on the back of people's cars seems to be it can happen. It don't happen often, but it can happen like I saw there. But yeah, we learned enough.
All right, anyone that you'd like to thank, sponsors, that sort of thing?
Yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting. Thank Joey and everybody with Sim500 for the leagues, and thanks to Transervice. They'll be our sponsor on this car with this series, and on Monday nights and Sunday nights coming up.
All right, well.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to steal your interview there, Jacob. My bad.
Well, thank you for talking to us, and hope to see you again next week, and maybe, of course, making it to the Daytona 250.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, last up on the interview block here tonight, it is Joey Gattina. Joey, how you feel about the third place finish? Joey, you got a copy on me.
Hey, yeah, I got to hit the right button, I guess. No, we're excited, man. We survived. That's the biggest thing. We got took out in that first big wreck, but luck we had that one reset. But just kind of watching these guys, it was hellacious fun. I mean, just running as hard as we could and beating and banging. So yeah, I'm thrilled to death to come out of here third.
All right, now, what did you get as takeaways going into the rest of Speed Weeks and, of course, the Daytona 250 in 2 weeks' time?
Well, I mean, I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be on these tracks. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to put it on them the rest of this week, and that's all this does is give me a little momentum, right?
Well, yeah, hey, that's for sure. That's a good way to look at it. Now, going into the next few races, I guess you expect to win. How'd that car handle for you here tonight?
No, the car was great. Everything was fun. We made some adjustments on the ratios and different things, but it drove really good. So it was great. I mean, before we get too far along, just want to thank Coastal Safety Auditors, DJ Beverly. We're here tonight because of them and his sponsorship and this great series we have here on Saturday night. So, to do this event we did tonight with the amount of cars we had, yes, we had some cautions. Yes, we had some guys get upset. But at the end of the day, it was one heck of a fun night. And I think everybody is looking forward to to come back next week and then actually run the Daytona, the actual 500.
All right. Well, anyone you want to thank, sponsors, that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Just again, Coastal Safety Auditors, DJ Beverly. First off, he's our man. We're here because of him. Big thanks, DJ. Kick-ass beef jerky. If you hadn't tried it, you got to get some, man. It's the best stuff on the market. Way better than that other stuff you see in grocery stores. So kickass.com, Train Service Logistics, and of course Sim500.com. If you're out there watching, you want to come get in the game, get in the races with us, come give us a try.
All right, well, thank you, talk to us, my man. Great job on the third place finish. We hope to see you in Victory Lane again during this Speed Weeks, my man.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, well, from all of us at the American Sim Network, we were so happy to bring you the first round of Speed Weeks from the Sim500 Coastal Safety Auditors Cup Series. We can't wait for the rest of Speed Weeks. I tell you what, it is going to be a great show, and you ain't going to want to watch a minute of it. You can catch it all on the American Sim Network, the Clash next week, and in 2 weeks' time, the Daytona 250 on Saturday night. So if you loved what you saw tonight, keep it locked to ASN. We'll see you all next time. Have a great night, everybody.